Hey guys, what is going on? Christian here, real estate agent in the Black Hills area. So got a couple requests to do this. Haven't done a video in a couple weeks. So this video is going to be fully on what I think is going to happen in the real estate market in the Black Hills and specifically over the next 12 months or so due to the coronavirus. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on what's happening in the market here now. Alright guys, so to start out, I'm going to go over the Freddie Macs, which is one of the biggest companies in the world, top 19 companies in the world, but they're basically what does all the funding for mortgages in the US. So they do predictions every quarter on what's going to happen in the real estate market, and they let out a really good report that I read on April 13th, and I find it very interesting, to be honest with you. So I'm going to start with kind of the national scale of what's happening, what they're predicting is going to happen, and then I'm going to kind of dive into the Black Hills specifically and what I'm seeing. So you can find what I'm about to read online at FreddieMac.com. I'll put the link in the description for you for this, but I'm just going to go over the cliff notes of it just so you can kind of see the basics of what's going to happen and what they're predicting is going to happen. Usually they're pretty dang close. So to start out here on the interest rates and what they think the interest rates are going to do over the next year. On the graph, I'll put it on the screen here. 2018 they were 4.6, 2019 4.0, 2020 3.3. I actually bought my house this year and I paid 3.125, which was awesome. Crazy low interest rates. And shockingly, everybody was saying interest rates are going to go up. Interest rates are going to go up. Interest rates are going to go up to 5%. Well, because of the coronavirus, the federal government has injected more money into this. So what Freddie Mac is predicting is 3.1% interest rates next year. So what that tells you is it's probably still going to be good if you're looking at buying as far as interest rates go. Now, if you look at total home sales, last year they were 6 million. This year they're only projected to be at 5.1 million houses sold. That totally makes sense to me. And then next year they're expected to jump up to around the average of 6.1 million. So this is where it gets really interesting. Housing price growth right here. So if you look at 2018, so the price growth in 2018 was 5.2%. 2019, 4.1%. And these numbers are very different for the Black Hills if you're watching this specifically for the Black Hills. South Dakota, much different than the national numbers. So if you look at 2020, they're predicting we'd go up 0.4% as a nation. So still not negative, which I thought was interesting. And, a lot of people are gloom and doom saying, oh my God, the market's going to crash, la, la, la. They're still predicting it's going to increase slightly, 0.4%. Now, this is where I kind of disagree, don't really see where they're getting this math is 0.4 and then 2021, 0.7. I think they're predicting in there that people are not going to get their jobs back after all this. And I don't see why they wouldn't. Maybe they'll switch job fields and whatnot, but people are still going to be hiring back. I'm sure some people will, unfortunately, lose their jobs for good. But they're projecting 0.7 growth in 2021. And also in this report, there's a lot more info. They have a couple paragraphs of stuff they've written out in there, so worth checking out if you're interested. All right, now for the Black Hills specifically, kind of go through the market with you of what's happening now versus last year, kind of show you the difference, what's happened since the coronavirus all kicked out here. So homes sold in the last little over a month, so since I did from March 13th until today, which is April 29th when I'm doing this video, there's been 312 houses sold. So of those houses sold, the average price is $250,000. Just over $250,000. The average days on the market is 39 days. So it's actually not too much different from, what we normally do. So the average days on the market and the price have not varied very much as of recent. Now, if we compare that to last year and the same exact date period, March 13, 2019 through April 29, 2019, we had a total of 275 houses sell. So what is that, about 37 less houses sold, about 37 less houses sold last year, which is interesting. Coming into all this, I thought our market was going to crash for sure. I thought, because the way they were talking about it, we were going to, fall behind, but it has not. It has actually increased in sales since last year. Average sale price last year was $252, so we're up in sale price. Average days on the market is 49 days last year. So after everything's said and done, this year's been better overall. Better price on average. So we've had an increase of $5,000, let's say, in price. We've had 10 less days on the market on average, and we've had about 37 more houses sell. So overall, the market here so far has done well. It's sped up. Shockingly, it's sped up since last year. I thought for sure we're going to decline, but no, we saw an increase in price, less days on the market, and more houses sold. Now, what does this have to do with? Well, part of it is we're one of the only states that didn't have mandatory shutdown laws for everybody. Locally, we did have things like restaurant stuff, only do carry out, that kind of thing. But real estate agents were still allowed to work, which they weren't in certain areas. Of course, we've taken precautions, face mask, sanitizer, all that kind of stuff, social distancing, all that kind of normal stuff that everybody's doing. And yeah, guys, since coronavirus has broken out, I've had a lot of people reaching out to me that are moving here from California, Arizona, Washington, Minnesota. I've had a lot of people reach out to me that are moving from different areas, and shockingly enough, I haven't seen it slow down at all. So with that being said, I think moving forward, do I think the pricing will be affected? I'm kind of thinking, based off of my own clientele list, our market's only going to pick up in the next 6 to 12 months. That's where I think it's going to vary from nationally, because almost all of my clients kept their jobs, worked remotely or worked part-time hours, and now we just opened up on Monday, and Tuesday, and it's Wednesday today. So we've just opened back up in our area where they're doing limited seating and stuff like that, but in restaurants and entertainment places and stuff like that. We just opened up, and so I think everybody's going to see a surge in the market here. I think we're going to get even busier. I think our market's going to keep going up. So with all that being said, if you are looking at moving into the area, if you got any questions, if there's anything I can answer for you, feel free to reach out to me. I think it's a great time if you're planning on moving here. I think it's one of the best times to do it right now. Airline tickets are cheap, so it's cheap to come visit because the airlines probably aren't filling up too much right now. Just make sure you stay safe when you're doing it all. But housing prices are going to continue to go up. I really believe that. Maybe I'm wrong. Could crash again. But as of right now, I think the prices are continuing to go up. And if they do, that means there's no better time to buy them right now, because they're going to continue. So with that being said, guys, if you got any questions, you can call me, text me, email me. You can write me an old-fashioned letter if you feel like it. Or if you have any questions at all, let me know. I'm happy to help. And thanks so much for watching this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.